Hello, this is Jamie Margaret. Welcome to Jamie's Craft Table. Today I'd like to show you how I made this card. So let's get started. Okay, what we're going to need, let me bring in my pile here. Alright, I have a 1/2 inch by 4 1/4 inch piece of the brushed metallic paper. I believe this is the copper color. I have a 1/2 inch strip of vanilla, 3 3/4 by 5 inch strip of vanilla, a 4 1/8 by 5 3/8 inch strip of vanilla, and a 5 1/2 by 8 1/2 scored and folded at 4 1/4 inch piece of vanilla. Then I have some, this is photo paper that I was playing with ink smooshing, and I did this a long time ago, so I can't even remember. I'm pretty sure I was playing with alcohol, but some of them might have been water. They've depended on what I think this is the alcohol one. See how it has the bubbles in it? But anyway, that's what I'm using for my leaves. I just came across this and I said this would be perfect for it. I'm using these new punches. I'm specifically using this one. I am using this, I forgot to write down the names of things. Hold on. Okay, I'm sorry about that. Okay, this is the Evergreen Forest 3D embossing folder. Okay, and these are the Autumn Punch Pack is what they're called. Okay, I'm also using a sentiment from Itty Bitty Christmas. I'm just using Peace and Happiness, but Celebrate the Season would work. You could use any sentiment you wanted. I just liked the font on that one, so that's why I chose that. Then I have not ordered these yet, but this is what I would recommend using, the stitched leaves dies. But I had these stitched foliage dies in my stash, so that's what I'm using. Okay, so I've already cut out a bunch of those leaves and from that paper that I showed you. I punched out a bunch of the little ones, and let me just show you. Where did I put the paper now? Right here next to me. How easy it is to punch. Literally, you just take your punch. Oops. Helps if you get it in the right spot, and punch it out. It makes some really pretty leaves. Okay. So that's that. Now, let's put this aside. We're going to bring in our 3 3/4 by 5 inch piece of vanilla and our 1 1/2 by 4 1/4 inch piece of copper foil. We're going to place it on each other so that the foil is like almost an inch, 3/4 of an inch. Let's see. Yeah, 3/4 of an inch away from the edge. So it doesn't have to be exact. It's just a variable, size. Then we're going to put it in our embossing folder in a place where we like the orientation of the trees. So put it in. That looks good, I think. And we're going to run it through our embossing folder. For the sake of time, I've already done that. Okay, let's bring in the rest of those pieces. This is a really simple card. That's the hardest part of the whole thing. And I'm going to bring in some dimensionals. I'm going to cover the back of this with dimensionals. And And I'm using quite a few because it is an embossed piece. I want to make sure it doesn't bow on the edges and that. You know what, I'm going to put another one here. Alright. Where did it go? There it is. I didn't put it in the right spot. Let's see if I can get these backs off. Woohoo, it's actually working today. Till I spoke. Alright. Let's line this up. You want to line it back up with your tree as best as you can. Okay, let's put that aside for a minute and bring in that 1/2 inch strip. Another one over here. And the only ink I'm using is the Memento. You could use Versamark and embossing powder. That would be really pretty with this. I'm going to stamp it over towards the left side a little bit, but not, you want to leave a little bit of space. I don't love that. Let's turn it over. You know what? Let me clean this stamp and try again. I left it sitting here and I think it dried inside the spaces. So let's try that again. That looks better. Much better. Okay. So now this is going to go on here like this. So we just need dimensionals underneath where it says happiness. Put a little bit of Tombow. Let's get this put away. Here on this side. Come on. There we go. Okay, so this is going to go way down here at this bottom. I'm going to flip it over. Bring in our snips. And trim that equal with the edge of that. Do it a little bit different than I did on my original. Okay, and we're going to bring in these pieces. This is going to get mounted onto this one with dimensionals. It's a highly dimensional piece. Okay, this is going to get centered on our 4 1/8 by 5 3/8 inch piece. Okay, now we're going to come in and choose our leaves. I'll use that one. Okay, so this is going to need dimensionals on this side of it. Just needs a couple. Oops, I just put it on the wrong side. Okay, a little bit of wet glue on this side. Just a little. It's going to go right there. Okay, let's pick a couple little leaves. A couple for right here. One for up here. Okay. Tiny glue on the back of that one. Put it on there. Now this one I need a little dimensional to go on the back of it. Oops. Back came up and the hardest part is getting this on here so it doesn't show. Okay. I don't probably need any wet glue, just the dimensional would probably work just fine. I'll change the angle there. Okay, and this one is just going to get glued on top there. Okay, then the only other thing is I've brought in a bow that I've tied with the braided linen trim, and I've pulled it apart, the braiding, so that it is a little fuller. Stuck it on a glue dot. We're going to add that glue dot right here. Okay, now let's add this to the front of our card using the Tombow or your snail or your seal. And this one only has a tiniest little border. There we go. There's the card we just made together. Here's one I did previously. You can change it up, use watercolor paper instead of this paper I had. And those Love of Leaves, or Stitch Leaves dies, that would be perfect for this. Well, thank you for joining me at Jamie's Craft Table. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I hope you can find a little bit of time to play with some stamps, ink, and paper.